Meant for all, not for myself alone. So that is the concept on which the Deen Institute is working.
With this spirit, the Chitrakoot experiment is also mapping its long-term targets. People here are still blessed with forest wealth. Villagers with indigenous knowledge are trained to collect medicinal plants for the DRI Ayurvedic Center. Scientists are engaged in a dual task. Establishing norms for Ayurvedic medicines is one, but the thrust is to create a record of reference. It will ultimately be one of the largest databases of indigenous herbs and roots.
पेटेंट का और पेटेंट के जो एडवांटेजेस हैं वो किनको मिलने चाहिए, किस तरीके से मिलने चाहिए, ये सही डायरेक्शन में अगर इसका इस्तेमाल नहीं होगा, आगे आने वाला जो समय है उसमें बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हो जाएंगी। अपना जो ऑब्जेक्ट है वो यही है कि फिंगरप्रिंट्स लेकर के पेटेंट करा करके पेटेंट की जो भी राशि मिलती है वो हम विलेजर्स तक पहुंचाएं, उनके लिए उन्हीं की चीजों से उन्हीं को लाभ पहुंचाना।
Long before India became independent, Gandhi had warned the nation that economics which hurt the moral well-being of an individual or a nation are immoral and therefore sinful. Such concepts faded when political freedom was confused with independence. The real enemy was within, a de-skilled, poor nation that was forgotten in the euphoria of reaching new heights.
We adopted the constitution of parliamentary democracy of those who ruled this country for more than 150 years. Means the real power of the people was not utilized for the development of the country. They were told by these politicians that you do not do anything. Please give us vote. Please give us power. And when we come to power, we will solve your all the difficulties and we will provide you all the necessities.
Before the Great Industrial Revolution, India was the second biggest industrial power after China. By 1947, India had lost her rural industrial base and had, unfortunately, inherited an administration designed for control and exploitation. The visionary system of 5-year plans was tipped in favor of heavy industry. Rural industry was neglected, and the belief was that agriculture did not have the potential to reduce poverty in New India. By the 1960s, India had to import food grain. Within decades, millions of the rural agricultural workforce was unemployed. Industry did not absorb the unequipped.
Today I tell you, we are practically walking on a wrong path. 5-year plans are based only on economics. Only economic is not the life of the people. That is why even after the 9 plans, people are dying of hunger. More than 35% people are below poverty line.
Trickle-down industrial development, largely based on the erstwhile Soviet model, has been consistently questioned. Domestic problems still remain severe. Meanwhile, the urban-rural divide has reached grotesque proportions.
Urbanization and rural areas, they have to be complementary to each other. You take into consideration the whole globe. The base is village. Cities and towns are the centers of consumption. They are not the centers of really production, because for production The necessity, the first element is required is the natural resources. And natural resources are confined only to the rural areas.
Chitrakoot, in the heartland of India. This is dacoit country. Once rich in forests on which the tribal population thrived, it is one of the poorest areas in the country today. Falling within the two states of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, Chitrakoot is also a place of pilgrimage. During religious festivals, the visiting population increases tenfold. In the Indian epic Ramayana, the Chitrakoot episode is a highlight in the life of the godlike King Ram. Exiled from his rightful kingdom, the dutiful son reached the forests of Chitrakoot. The forest dwellers were his strength, and he spent his days teaching them the art of self-rule. The godlike King Ram is Nanaji Deshmukh's inspiration. Born in 1916, a bachelor, Nanaji shunned manipulative politics and set up the Deen Dayal Research Institute in 1977. Pandit Deen Dayal, a thinker and contemporary of Nanaji, died early. His philosophy of integral humanism is the basis for the rural reconstruction that Nanaji has initiated in many parts of India, including Chitrakoot. The Chitrakoot campaign for self-reliance is now gearing up for ISO certification. It is the first developmental project in the world to do so, and DRI is in the unique position of formulating its own parameters for evaluation. At Chitrakoot, no visitor can miss the Entrepreneur Training Center that aims to be a model for alternative industrialization.
जहाँ पे बड़ा इंडस्ट्री लग गया वहाँ पे अपने को तीन चीजें देखने को मिलता है। एक है डिस्पैरिटी, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट और पोल्यूशन। तो हम लोग ऐसे उद्योगों का स्थापना यहाँ करना चाहते हैं जिस पे डिस्पैरिटी ना हो, हर व्यक्ति एक समान रहे और आदमी अनएम्प्लॉयड ना रहे, हर व्यक्ति के पास काम हो और पोल्यूशन ना हो। आज की स्थिति ये है कि हम लोग खुद प्रॉफिट मेकिंग यूनिट्स में है, तब जाके हम लोग रूरल यूथ को लेकर आते हैं, फिर ट्रेनिंग देते, तो वो बच्चा को उसके ऊपर विश्वास होता है।
Attracting the youth is not easy. This area had no manufacturing unit in a radius of 50 kilometers. Things are changing. Catalysts have now been triggered through the Entrepreneur Center. Nathu is one of them.
After doing my MA in political science, I went to Mumbai. Worked there as a tailor. Father took ill. I did come home to his dead body. I was very upset. What's the use of working away from home, I thought. Then I got a chance to be trained here. But then I left. Then came back. Anyway, now I'm a supervisor. I have already trained 30 people in food processing, 20 women in tailoring. My wife and some other women are also going to come and learn baking and soap making. Then we'll set up units in the village.
The Ramnath Ashram Shala is one of the schools under the Self-Reliance campaign. Like these students, many tribal children in the region now attend schools with hostel facilities. Children are motivated to work and earn. Apart from studies, they are encouraged to make products of daily use, like soap, that the school buys from them. By the final 8th class here, economic pressures often restrict further study. But meanwhile, children do acquire some basic skills.
हमारे हिसाब से हम ये चाहते हैं कि बच्चा स्वावलंबी बने, पढ़ लिख करके। वो सरकार का मुंह न ताके कि हमें सर्विस मिल जाए, हम कुछ कमाएं घर के लिए। हम ये चाहते हैं कि वो संस्कारित हो, उसमें देशभक्ति की भावना हो और वो स्वावलंबी हो, उसको भटकना ना पड़े। वो यहाँ से निकलने के बाद स्वयं अपना कुछ व्यवसाय कर सके, स्वयं कुछ काम कर सके, उसकी मांग हो समाज में।
आवाज क्यों निकलती है, कैसे निकलती है, मैं यहाँ बोलता हूँ सुनाई वहाँ देता है।
Inspiring children to learn is an uphill task for educational field workers like Pradeep, an MSc with a bachelor's in education. They constantly adapt teaching methods on the basis of an IQ analysis of 80 villages.
क्या है? हाँ, खड़े रहना, खड़े। कुछ सुनाई दिया?
There is curiosity. What is making things work?